This is the Lightning Rod Weaver build. It's a decent roaming build with a lot of damage from CC, so it's great at locking down targets, and it will also get a lot of weakness, so it's great at countering power builds, but against condition builds you will struggle a little bit. So it can play the role of a roamer mostly, but it can also duel power builds sometimes. So let's just get into the build really quickly. I'll go over the rotations and some skill combos, and then we'll go through a full match and show my rotations and decisions. So first of all, you're going to be running the Avatar Amulet. Avatar is really important. Normally you would think you'd go Berserker or Marauder because you want the extra ferocity. This build already has plenty of ferocity because I take the Rune of the Eagle, which is going to give you a lot more ferocity as well. And then in the air traits, you're going to get a lot of ferocity as well, just from being in air attunement, from having fury, and you're also going to get a lot of damage modifiers from vulnerability. So you have a lot of damage on this build, even though you are on Avatar, so it's a roamer, but you have a lot of healing because Elementalist has tons of healing power scaling. Signet of Restoration scales very well with healing power. And what do I mean by scales well with healing power? Well, if you look at the actual number, the value of the heal, and if you look at it without healing power, it's like 179. With healing power, it's about 30 higher, and that's pretty decent considering I'm going to be proccing that constantly. So other things that are going to have really good healing power scaling are regeneration, which you get whenever you go into water attunement. You're going to get healing whenever you use your dodge roll in your water attunement, which is cleansing wave. Also, healing power scales with barrier, and barrier is really nice for weavers, giving them more survivability. So for the traits, you're going to take Arcane Restoration, which is also really good synergy with healing power. So whenever you swap attunements, that's going to give you healing, and weavers swap attunements a lot more often. Then you have Elemental Attunement, which is really nice because it gives you extra boons whenever you swap attunement. And then Elemental Lockdown is just kind of more of those boons. It gives you more Fury uptime as well, which is really important for the Raging Storm trait because you have a higher internal cooldown on that than the duration, and you really want that permanent uptime of Fury because it gives you more ferocity too. So the Evasive Arcana is just going to give you extra effects when you dodge. Obviously the Earth and the Water are the most important for this build because the Blast Finisher on Earth is nice for comboing with the water fields, and the water dodge is just going to cleanse you, which is also really nice, and heal you. So in air, whenever you swap into air attunement, you're going to get super speed. You can get this whenever you swap into air, and whenever you swap into air after you've already been in air, so you can kind of like get a double super speed, which is nice for sticking to targets, right? Because super speed is very fast and it helps you play the role of the roamer a lot more efficiently. Then you have Electric Discharge, which is important for your combos. A lot of times you'll be doing a combo and you can swap into air at the end, and that'll put 8 vulnerability on your target and get some extra damage, and we'll show something about that a little bit later. Obviously Raging Storm is just going to give you more damage with that Fury uptime. And when you're in air attunement, you also get a lot of ferocity. So yeah, more ferocity, which is nice. And then Lightning Rod, obviously whenever you CC an enemy, you're going to do a little bit of damage to them. This damage can crit, and since you have 95% crit chance, it's often going to do, you know, like 1 to 2k damage, and that adds up over time when you're doing lots of CCs. So in Weaver, we have Superior Elements. Obviously that's going to give you more crit chance. The Swift Revenge is going to give you 10% more damage while you have swiftness, and you get swiftness whenever you swap attunements to air and whenever you use a dual attack, and you're going to be using a lot of dual attacks, so you often have permanent swiftness as well as a lot of super speed. You can, though, instead of taking this, you can go for Lesser Stone Resonance. It's sort of like a trade-off. If I go for the Swift Revenge on a Avatar build, it usually is fine. But if I go for the Lesser Stone Resonance on an Avatar build, it's usually too tanky, so I like to go a little bit more damage. And if I was going for like maybe a Zerker build, maybe I would go for the Bolstered Elements trait because that would give you a little bit more burst survivability because you wouldn't have as much sustain. So essentially this build is a little bit more DPS oriented, even though it's still a roamer and it's a little bit tankier with Avatar Amulet. I like to stick to the targets with Swift Revenge, have that swiftness uptime, and do a little bit more damage over time. Whereas this is going to give you a little bit more barrier, which is nice, but I already have plenty of healing in barrier. So finally, you're going to be taking Invigorating Strikes, which is just going to give you barrier whenever you dodge, and vigor whenever you use a dual attack, which is going to give you more dodges, and that's going to give you more barrier and more effects from your evasive arcana. So the main rotation of the build is you're going to start out in air. You're going to use your 2 and your 3 skill. Don't use the Shocking Aura Transmute immediately. You want to get them hit by it first and then transmute it for the second stun. So you'll get 2 stuns out of it usually. And then from there you can go into water, use the Katabatic Wind, which is another daze, which will proc your Lightning Rod. And it's also a combo finisher, Blast. And then from there you can go into Earth Attunement and use Mudslide, which is an unevadable knockdown if anyone walks over that Mudslide. From there you can use your Ring of Earth and your Comet, which is another daze, more weakness and damage from Lightning Rod. From there you want to go into air, so you use Grinding Stones, which is going to give you damage reduction and just a lot of pulsing damage around you. It's great for sticking on top of your target. And then from there you can decide whether you want to go into sustain rotation, or you can go back into double air rotation, or if you want to go for like your one-shot combo with the combo I'll show you right now. So that was the main rotation right there. The one-shot combo is, instead of going into water after doing your 2 and 3, you would use Gale, and then after you use Gale you'll go into fire, use Plasma Burst, which just does a lot of damage. And then you'll use Unravel, and Unravel will put you into a single attunement, and that gives you access to Burning Speed, which is another heavy hitting ability. So you use Plasma Burst, Unravel, then Burning Speed, and then Unravel will also reduce the recharge of all of your attunements. So then while you're in your Burning Speed, you can go into air, and that will give you the extra modifiers from being in air from Airmancer's Training, and it'll also give more vulnerability to the target. So it's going to increase the damage of your Burning Speed by a lot. So that's pretty much the one-shot combo. It's going to look like this. So you go in with the 2 and 3, you use the Gale, Plasma Burst, and then the Burning Speed with the air attunement before it lands. So that's the main one-shot combo and the main rotation. How do you survive on this build? So the main survival is actually through the fire and water attunement. So fire and water is going to give you the dual attack Steam Surge. Steam Surge creates a water field on the ground, and you can use that to blast. So the ways that you can blast it are through your water 3 while you're single attuned to water, and you can blast with that. You can also use Earth Attunement and you can dodge, which is going to give you a blast finisher. You can also double attune to Earth and use Earthen Rush, which is a leap, and Magnetic Wave, which is a blast. So there's kind of like 2 ways you can do this. Either you premeditate it and you go into fire first, and then you go into water, and that will give you the Steam Surge. And then you can use Steam Surge into your Unravel, into 3, into 4, and 3 of the Earth there, and that would give you 3 blasts. Or what you can do is you can go into water and then fire. So what you do instead is you would do Steam Surge and then go into Earth, Unravel, and then you would dodge into that water field, and then you can also use your 3 and 4 in that from there. If you try to do the water thing and then do the dodge, you're not going to have enough time. So it's either you do the water 3 while you're single attuned, or you do the Earth dodge. So those are your kind of like main sustain combos. And then you also have Signet of Air, which is your stun break. It's a low cooldown, but it is kind of low impact, so you want to know when to use it to get the most value out. And it's kind of like an aggressive stun break because it'll also blind and put vuln on the target. Now you can also put Signet of Air into your one-shot combo for more vulnerability there, but generally I like to just save my single stun break to use it as a stun break. And then you're going to be using Conjured Earth Shield, which gives you Fortify, which is going to give you another invulnerability, Magnetic Shield will pull enemies in, which is a CC. And then Magnetic Surge is another CC, which dazes. And it's going to give you a Magnetic Aura, which is nice. And then your auto attack is going to do a kind of like a boomerang attack where it shoots out the shield. And if you have barrier, it'll do double damage. So whenever you have that ready, you want to dodge for a barrier, or if you use your 2 skill or your 4 skill and they land, you'll get barrier from them as well. So yeah, the Earth Shield is kind of nice for just adding in CCs and giving you survivability while you're waiting for the rotation to come off, because you do your rotation, you go air, water, earth, and then back to air, but then you have some cooldown still. So it's nice to put in like your Conjured Earth Shield in between your sustain rotation and your damage rotation maybe. And then finally you have Weave Self, which is just nice for an extra CC, because when you go through all the attunements, you will get the Tailored Victory. And it's also going to reduce the actual cooldown of your attunements. So when you're in like high pressure situations and you want to get out your abilities fast, it's nice to use. And Tailored Victory is a unblockable float, which is nice for landing a big burst combo. Here's a full ranked match as the Lightning Rod Weaver. As I said, you can play the role of a roamer or a duelist, but in this match the ranger went home, so I'm going to go to mid and play a little bit more of a roamer role at the start. So I see they come out of stealth. I'm going to go behind terrain until I see they retarget to one of my teammates. I gun for their Reaper because I don't want them to be doing, free casting. So I'm going to be spamming CC on them. I land my one-shot burst combo there, which is a little bit clunky. Put some auto attacks in there, but we landed it and got them to like 20% HP before they healed up. But they're going to back up, and I see I'm getting their Guardian, or their Ranger there is AFK, so I don't want to get jumped on by that. I don't know what they're doing there, but we're going to head into home. Looks like they're back now. And we're going to head into home and help our Ranger, because their Mesmer and Thief are actually on our Ranger now, so they're in a 1v3, so we need to help them out. And yeah, we're going to go into air here just to get the super speed, because we're in combat there from that trap. And at this moment, I think that our Ranger is probably dead anyways. So I went for the Ranger kill instead, but it looks like it's a mistake, because this is a pretty tanky Ranger here. They have the invulnerability there. So our Necro is actually trying to get the res there with transfusion, but I'm stuck in immobilize here. I try to pull people together with my magnetic shield. And yeah, we're just getting CC'd, and yeah, the Mez and Thief are just using CCs to make sure that that res doesn't happen. But the Mesmer is very low, so I am trying to pressure them. The auto attack here on the air weapon set is really strong. The Lightning Whip, it just does so much damage, and it's just constant. So it's a renewable source of damage. And we actually get another down with the Fiery Rush there, but I can't really prevent them from getting the kill here because there's 2 down states also pressuring. So I'm going to be outnumbered here. Just trying to survive. I go into double earth to cleanse, and if I need to, I'll go invulnerable with Obsidian Flesh. So yeah, I get the Rangers actually here now, so I'm going to be forced to go into Obsidian Flesh. While that's ticking, I give myself some super speed to kite out and go into Fire Attunement, because I'm ready to use the Steam Surge to get some health, but I'm at full health, so I'm fine now. Just going to give myself the Earth Shield here and just pull enemies together. My ally does go down again, and now I'm left outnumbered, so I'm going to be forced to go invulnerable here. And yeah, I'm getting immobilized, so yeah, and my teammate's just going to get focused while I try to get out of this immobilize here. So my teammates just are kind of like in this revolving staggered down state situation. So I'm just going to leave, because that's not really getting us anywhere being in that situation. So the bell is now up, but yeah, we're in a bad spot because we've lost a player. So I am just trying to survive here. I know that there's a Thief or a Ranger on me there, and their other Ranger is actually getting the cap, but our team is losing the fight off the node. And if I go for the node and we lose the fight off the node, well, then they're just going to come and roll me over at the node. So I just give that up. They get the bell, and we actually get a kill on their Reaper, which is not bad, because now we can at least get on the rest of the map. Now their Thief, I actually get a kill on as well with the Gale there. I did a 2000 lightning rod there, proc. And we're just going to try to help our team here. because even though no one is really playing the duelist role besides our ranger, they're going around and capping. I can't really do that because if the ranger's doing it and then the other fight's over here, do I just go and cap mid and then let my team die here? So I am trying to just get kills with my team here. I do get some pretty good damage with these lightning whip crits, and I'm probably gonna get the down on the ranger. Yeah, so I don't have Signet of Air. One thing that Signet of Air is good for is getting like blind stomps, but yeah, I don't get that, but I don't need to because we just cleave that out. And I'm just spamming lightning whip while I'm on my ally there, and it's actually counter pressuring pretty hard. I put down swirling winds to try to get the revive on my ally here, and I actually did blind that the soul beast was using worldly impact there, so I blinded that, and that prevented a lot of cleave. But yeah, they're getting really heavily pressured here. I put out the shocking aura to prevent them from cleaving, and I land the gale into the flame rush there to get a lot of damage. And now I just need to cleave this out. Yeah, the rest of our team is actually here, so we were like 4v2ing them, or maybe 4v3. And yeah, our team is just dying on the rest of the map because we're outnumbering this, but at least we've won this fight. So we head into mid and we're going to cap that. Hopefully we can make a comeback with those kills that we got. And I'm heading into far because I want to see if I can get a decap, but I do see their Reaper is there, and I want to prevent them from pushing onto the rest of the map because they can pressure my team. You know, they're a heavy DPS class, so I want to kind of bully them because they're a power DPS and I'm a power counter. So I am trying to pressure them, but yeah, I'm taking a lot of pressure back myself. Now Chill is really good against Weavers as well, so Reaper is not like getting countered by me too hard. So I'm gonna go in with the Comet here, just spamming CCs to keep up the weakness. I go into my Earth Shield and I land my auto attack chain there, and you can see I did a 4K auto attack with barrier there, so that was really nice. And I actually galed a little bit too early, so it didn't actually CC them there, so that's unfortunate. But the bell is actually up, and if I get this kill on the Reaper, which is actually kind of a dangerous situation because I don't have a stun break here, I eat their entire burst. I do swap into Earth Attunement so I can survive while being stunned though. And yeah, we just get the plasma burst there and get the kill. But the bell is up, but I have to really make sure that this doesn't get revived, because if this gets revived, then we're in a really bad spot. So I do the combo there to get a little bit more sustain with the finishers. I just want to get rid of this Necro's down state so I can focus on the bell. So once we get that, I'm going to go into the bell, put down swirling winds, and that'll potentially disable some of the projectiles that are going to go around. And we actually cap the bell, so we're in a good spot right now because we're only 120 points behind, and we can actually get kills off of winning this mechanic. I land a couple stray lightning whip crits and actually get a down on their mesmer. So I mean, people aren't really capping nodes, but we're in the position to cap nodes now. So this is not bad. The Reaper's going to try to contest here, but I have a Ranger coming in to +1 this, and this is where this build really excels because it's going to be CCing the target, and then if I have any supplemental damage or like a +1, then it really helps me to get those kills fast because I'm CCing and doing damage, and then that enables my team to do damage as well. So we get the kill on the Reaper when I cap far. We have mid, but we don't have home. So, I mean, this is a good enough spot though. And I know that their Reaper is going to be respawning, so I'm just going to check and see where they go. This is one thing that many people make a mistake of doing, is when they win like a fight at the enemy's node, and then they don't realize that that person is going to be coming back, and then they just go somewhere else, and then they just lose that node immediately. So making sure that I knew where the Reaper was going was important. Now, obviously I get decapped anyways because someone goes there, but you also can't just AFK. So you have to kind of wait when you have knowledge that the situation could occur. But then when you don't have knowledge, you just gotta kind of guess and just try to help your team. So yeah, my team is getting pressured really hard here. I'm gonna try to go up and down terrain here. I don't land my mudslide because I get knocked back, which is unfortunate, and I can't land my the conjured Earth Shield cast there, which would have allowed me to survive. So getting CC there was not nice. So after I respawn here, the bell is actually up, so I need to race there. I'm gonna give myself super speed with the air attunement and just try to get there as fast as possible, because this is a map where the bell is such an important mechanic. It's the secondary mechanic, but it's in a lot of cases sometimes more important than the primary. So I am heading there as fast as I can, and I actually see their ranger is trying to come out of the team fight here. I land a really good burst on them, get that pick, and that's actually pretty nice for our team because they're not going to get the decap on our node here, and then I can just cleanly go into the team fight and we can hopefully win that. So it looks like they have a ranger there, and they're gonna just 3v1 that. So I actually go into mid instead because I see that my ranger over here is getting 2v1, and I don't want to try to contest the node against that Reaper. Even though I can win that, it's not going to happen fast enough, and by then my teammate's going to be dead. So I need to help my teammate, because there's no way I'm going to kill their Reaper before they kill my teammate, and then I'll be outnumbered. So peeling for my team with my CCs and weakness is really important, and landing some pretty decent damage there. I stand on the node because if they're attacking my teammate there, then that would peel them off him, because they have to decide between the node and my teammate. And I land a really good mudslide, and yeah, you can't really fight a lightning rod weaver on node as a thief because they're going to have so much AoE. So I do kite out of here because the ranger is coming in and they're like a Condi ranger. I don't want to fight that, but I see their thief is still here, so I am playing a little bit safe going up terrain here, and I actually land my Gale into the plasma burst one-shot combo, and I literally just one-shotted that thief, which is really good for us because now we're in a situation where we can actually push into far and get that decap at the last second because the game is about to end. So here I am giving out the stuns. The Reaper's coming in. I land my tailored victory and my next plasma burst, and now the Reaper goes down. So we got the thief and the Reaper down, and now we can push in with our team and potentially get the decap here. So this is a really good spot for us to make a comeback. I do get immobilized before I can get the decap, but my teammate is here and we're outnumbering, so this is pretty good. We get the kill, and now we've got we've got 2 cap, and we can potentially get the next bell as well, because that's coming up now. So I am staying here trying to get this decap because that's really important, because if they keep this node, they will win before we can get the bell. So yeah, the Mesmer has to kite off because we're playing so aggressively, and once we get the decap, we don't need to go for that cap anymore because we're not going to win by the score going up from the nodes. We're going to have to win from the bell. So I go to the bell, and we just need to prevent the enemy team from getting nodes. They're going to full cap mid, or they're actually just going to decap it. Yeah, because they know that we win on the bell as well. So I come into mid, try to prevent anyone from getting on this node so that we can cap it as fast as possible. I do my one-shot burst into the ranger, and they are forced to pretty much die here. So we get them down, and I'm just going to cleave with the Earth Shield here. And we actually get a second kill, and yeah, they're just streaming in trying to prevent us from getting this bell because they know that this is our win condition, but they can't do much about it. So we land the victory there. So if you like this kind of content, then like the video, subscribe for more, and check out the links in the description. The full build is listed there with all other PvP builds. So I will see you all next time.